Okay, like I was saying, this is like part two. Sorry. I accidentally pressed the button on the side. Sensitive phones. Anyway, I mean, I got so used to as a child, because again, like, like I noticed, like, I learned and I picked up a lot of things in movies. And that's not always the best thing, because movies are going to show you anything, Um, Now, when I guess because I had kind of developed on my own as far as some sense and, whatever, some type of self-worth and what I did when I didn't want, whenever you had your story showing about love and your princes and your Cinderellas and crap, right? And, I would get so wrapped up in those kind of relationships. Then I would maybe be flipping the channels, and then I'd see on BET, right? Because it was always seeming to be on BET or, what's that other, Lifetime, right? So these weird twisted movies where you have people who are clones and they're dating the twin, or you have girls getting pregnant at like 10 and she has to take care of the kid, and or the guy is beating her, or she grows up in a like drunk abusive parenthood type relationship. So all these crazy scenarios, and I feel like maybe because I didn't actually grow up seeing that all the time, and actually, because you're a kid, like you take things on, because that's not the majority that I had taken in, right, and kind of placed within myself as far as how it's supposed to be. And maybe that's why it's easier for me to just, and even then, right, it was easier for me to just flip the channel and be like, what the hell, and flip the channel. Be like, well, that's dumb, that's ridiculous. I don't know why, these people who are being abused are even letting it stand. But I also want to say, I don't realize when I'm letting it happen to myself. What I mean is this form of abuse. Now, I'm not getting hit, but still, I really care about this girl, but she takes me on a fucking ride. And if it's not all of her emotions that I'm trying to conquer, even if I try to break it down and do it one at a time, I feel like, I'm just doing a lot for her. And I'm not trying to be selfish, and this is why I get confused, because I'm like, isn't this what love is supposed to be? Let me try to stick it out, because I really do love this girl. But anyway, I'm in a weird place, because like I get to a point, and that's why I was last night yesterday when I broke up with her, because I'm just like, I'm torn between not even wanting to deal with this. Same time, I love you, but this is you. This isn't going to go away. And apparently she told me, because I also realized I have some placement as far as self-loving myself to do, or I have to get a hold of. That's what I realized, like, because the fact that I keep going to someone like this, and I keep kind of, because there came a time last night where I was like frantically panicking after I was watching the videos and learning more about this stuff and comparing notes, because a lot of people say all kinds of stuff, right? Like, they're like, oh, my mom, she's just being bipolar, she's just freaking out, she's just, whatever, she's just acting crazy. But and plus I had my own, ideology of what I thought it was to be bipolar. Like, again, TV. I don't know anything. This is TV. And then you have other people, right, joking about it at school, who are also, copying TV and, the crap they've heard their parents say about people who are like this or like that. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't have my own grasp of actual understanding and dealing with someone like this. I didn't know it was like this. Hell, I just thought it was literally, come on. No. I'm taking my dog out at the same time. I thought it was like the TV version of things where, go on, boy, go on. Where literally every few seconds they're crying, they're happy, and they're sad, and then they're, they're excited, and then they hate you, and then they, and then they're happy, and but like a cartoon. Like, imagine like a cartoon of that. Like, literally they're moving all around like, oh, now I'm sad, oh my god, I love you, and all this stuff. Like, imagine like a cartoon. So it's very played down, and it's not very serious. And again, it's very animated, and it makes it hard to, again, relate it to real life, because that's kind of the disconnect. Because I would always think, well, whenever she would say that, the very few times that Brie would say, I'm bipolar, she would talk and say that, her ex was bipolar too. And I'm like, I mean, if you really are, I can't imagine that combination together, right? It was like a joke to me. I didn't know that she was serious because, there's so many people who take on that shape of that form of identity and they use it as just like an adjective, almost like, okay, let's say the sentence, I am running, right? That's what you're doing now in the present moment. That's how it is. Or I am bipolar, but a lot of people take it on as an adjective, like this is what I'm just doing in the moment, right? It's just an action, right? It's just a reaction right now because I'm gonna use me being upset to me being bipolar right now interchangeably. So am I upset or am I bipolar? I don't know, but whenever I get upset, let me just use the phrase, I guess I'm bipolar right now. It's kind of like when people, I guess I'm on my period right now or something like that. Well, are you really though? Or are you really? Because I don't know what's going on down there. And I know for a fact that I am. But anyway, someone's like, ew. Yeah, it's someone's probably like, why would you put that on the internet? Why not? I mean, come on, you guys know what happens. Ugh, and to be honest, it's annoying the hell out of me right now, walking around with this mess. Literally. But I'm gonna tell you, it's weird because I found so much, in that video. And then I also went to another video by a woman named Apple, and she's talking about, breaking up with someone who is indeed bipolar, and when you're still in love with them, and how hard it is. And she was talking about you need to make a video, write down a list, write down 10 examples, 20 examples, find the most you can. Make a damn video of yourself, showing how it is and the times that they've really taken you over the edge. And, see, this is the thing, I confused things with her because I didn't know what was really going on. I just thought whatever she would act the way she acted, that, okay, in my head, again, because I have ideas of how love is supposed to be, and I've already assimilated and it's going to sound corny, in my heart, right? How love is supposed to, be, how you're supposed to exchange love and show love. So whenever she would treat me a certain way, I'd be like, okay, in my head, I'm like, okay, you know what, well, this is me, this is her telling me that she's hurt right now, and, this is her trying to let me know that, she really wants to work things out, and which I find out now, which I know now, right now, I'm like, well, actually, I find with her, sometimes she doesn't want to work things out in a certain, in the moment, right? She wants to wait a couple of days to do that. And to be honest, I don't like that. I don't like that at all when people like that. Let's handle it right now. Let's knock it out because I don't need this in the way. I think I've said that so many times in my videos. I don't like this thing just staying in the way. I've said that when it comes to my own mom, right? Because I put up with a lot of shit when it comes to her and whatever, right? It's hell, but she wouldn't want to talk about anything, and things just stay there and they build. They're just in the way. It's just, it really builds a wall between you and that person, and it just keeps getting thicker and thicker, and it's crazy. So I like to knock it out. See, she would never like to do that. So she's like, leave me alone. I don't feel like doing. I'm like, what do you mean? But again, I would try to be patient. The same fucking thing with Brie. I'm trying to be patient. Okay, well maybe, let me just show her some gratitude right now. Let me just, be patient with her. Maybe that's all she needs is some time, some patience. So I would tell her, okay, Ma, I want to talk to you about this some other time. It's like, yeah, whatever, leave me alone or something like that. Whenever she was in a mood of hers, let's say a couple days later or 2 weeks later even, I'd come back to her and be like, Ma, I want to talk to you about it. She'd be like, no, why do you keep doing this? Why do you always want to bring up things from the past? Let it go. And I'm like, I'm confused as hell because I'm like, but don't you remember that I told you I was going to come and talk to you about this stuff, and you did say it was okay, right? But again, I had to learn later on, this is just what she was saying to blow me off, right? She's just saying in the moment, yeah, okay, sure, honey, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you comfortable. And even in the moment when she was saying those things, I could hear the undertone of, she was irritated and she was annoyed, and it was really her way of sarcasm and kind of blowing me off. I could hear it, but I didn't want to accept it, right? Again, there are certain behaviors even that Brie does I don't want to accept that it's really something that hurts me, but it is, and it does. And anyway, it's kind of the same thing. Okay, my battery's getting hot. I don't know why the hell it's acting on like this, but yeah, I watched a couple of different videos and everything, and what to do and how to handle things. What the hell? My dog is in this puddle he's just rolling around in. So now you're gonna get a bath, okay? You're gonna get a bath, boy, because I don't need some leeches or fleas or whatever else to be in this water. And then, I put him in my bed, and then now I have leeches or something. I know, there aren't leeches in here. I'll just let him roll around, because he's obviously happy. He's already done it anyway, so what the hell? I just know that makes me realize that I still have some self-love. Look at him. He never likes water this much. I still have self-loving to do within myself, right? Because, if I let this stand, it means a certain thing. But see, it's like, sometimes I feel guilty that I can't throw how I feel into the mix, because it's like she is how she is, and no matter what, right? Like, even if I didn't know what the term was before, like, she's always been like this. So the fact that, I just know the term now and I know it's actually real, that doesn't have to mean that certain things are okay, But again, how do you get across talking to someone like that when she doesn't talk about it herself? It was just last night, because I, started panicking, and I started to be like, okay, wow, like, it's not her fault that she does things she does, and, I need her back, and I love her, and all this stuff, and, I can care for her, and I can take care of her, and yeah, it's a weird thing in myself, too. That's what I'm talking about, like, so I realize I have some self-love or whatever to evaluate myself, and what I'm really able to stand for, regardless of whatever term or phrase that you have attached to your ass. It's like, there's a part of me that's like, I really don't fucking care. I don't care what the hell you're called. Hell, because I can be crazy too. I just don't, You won't see me treating like this. You won't hear me, saying this to you. You won't have me showing up at your house constantly after I've already told you to stop. Like, that's that crazy shit. I don't care whatever the hell you have attached to you. And if any fucker is in my face, no, well, see, you don't understand. Like, I'm so crazy, but I'm crazy in love with you. No. Because again, that sounds like that crazy psychotic shit. It just seems like that crap people say right before they slit your throat. Or they suffocate you with your own damn pillow. I'm just saying, like, yeah, it doesn't seem loving at all. It just seems sick. And yeah, there are parts of her that really make me feel like that. I'm like, damn, I don't even like this. Like, this is just really suffocating. Same time, I have to, again, because I feel like, when you love someone, this is things that you try to stay with, and you try to work it out, and you try to, put up with it, you try to work through with them. But see, I feel like a lot of times, and it's been like this always, a lot of the times, like, in the present moment, when I'm trying to, like, when I would be trying to tell her, I'm trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to approach things now with her, because now that I know she has this, I don't know how to talk to her. Like, when she starts talking to me a certain way, I don't know what's going to trigger her. I don't know how I should bring it up, because she's never talked about it like this before, not in depth. I guess she's embarrassed, and I can understand why. And I mean, she even said before, well, sorry, I didn't tell you I felt the way I felt. I even said this, like, in a video. At the time, she was talking about taking the pills, and this is why I originally typed in what I typed in, because I thought she was just suicidal. I thought she was just, so I typed in how to love someone when they're suicidal. Anyway, when she was explaining to me, somewhat explaining, she didn't really want to explain, but I was kind of pushing her to the limits, I guess, somewhat of explaining. Ugh, a bug hit my face. At least it didn't fly in my mouth. Y'all remember that video? Really, like, that bug was like, yeah. At least it didn't fly in my mouth, because that video was like, he was like, what really happened at Augustus High School that led to Chris Wood's death. Now I'm going to tell you, immediately, I wasn't applauding the guy's death, the kid's death. That's very sad. And, in whatever way the kid happened to die, high school or middle school, I don't even know if it was a middle school or high school, but I'm going to tell you, that guy was like, what really led to Chris Wood's death. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, oh, so, y'all I gotta check it out. Y'all are like, yeah, we've seen it already. Man. Oh, I love that mess, man. Anyway, yeah, like, she basically, when she was talking about the pills, I feel like more so now she was talking about this, the actual bipolar issue that she doesn't talk about, she doesn't like to tackle. And now, before I never knew to bring it up, and now I still don't even know how. I don't know how to do it without like hurting her feelings and without pushing her away and making her feel like she can't talk to me about anything, because that's happened whenever I try to talk to her about something serious, when I try to get in depth, try to be direct, try to get to the problem, right? It's always she tries to distract me. She's like, just like yesterday, that shit pisses me off. It's like, hey Zai, what are you doing? What are you wearing? I love you, I miss you. You don't miss me? Okay, well, I miss you. Anyway, what are you wearing? What did you eat? No. What are you wearing? And that's how it is. And this could be right when I'm talking to her, and she just randomly does that, and she doesn't stop. And in the beginning, even I could sense, okay, what's going on? Like, what is she doing? Why does she keep doing that? And it wasn't like a first time or second time, because I tried to correct it. And I know that sounds weird, correcting her, right? But again, it's what you do. You try to talk to that person, and you try to let them know certain things. I had to talk to you and things like that. But there have been other people who say that even when dealing with someone who's bipolar, it seems like they forget. They forget a lot of things that you tell them sometimes. Not to say like they have amnesia. Hell, I forget things. But I'm just saying, like, that's another thing. Like, when she says something to me, it's all, whatever. She says something really revealing and deep to me that she hadn't before, like about the pills. Like, she was like, what she said is, I thought that if I let you know, I thought like if I would tell you, let you know about this, then you would leave me. Now I feel like that's more like disregards like to the bipolar thing, because she knows she really has a problem, and she's told me that before too. She's like, I told you, I am crazy. But I just thought she was kind of, playing around. Oh, I could be crazy if I wanted to, but again, when I'm starting to learn, it's like they don't really have a hold on when they get like that. And apparently what it's called is when they have like an episode or whatever. She has plenty of them. And anyway, going back to the other woman who was talking about a girl she used to date and all this stuff and whatever. She would talk about basically they'll be having such a good time together, right? Like, she'd be spending time with that version of her, the version of her girlfriend that she loved, and they could talk and they could connect. It wasn't abusive. That it's like, damn, okay, this version of you is okay. I can tolerate this. And sometimes I feel guilty because I feel like that too. Hang on. And I'm like, this is where I get into wanting to change her. And this is also where I felt like things are majorly unhealthy, because I shouldn't have to even be wishing to kind of change her, whether it's Brie or anyone else. There's part of me that feels like I don't even have time to tolerate any crap like that, wanting to change you. So we'd be in the middle of a good time, having fun, laughing, holding each other and everything like that, and being close, and well, then something would happen to trigger her and make her upset. Like, it could be a tiny thing, like I go to the bathroom and she's like, where'd you go? I gotta, you can't just randomly leave me like that, and, why didn't you answer your phone, or, you never answer my messages or anything like that, when in reality, I just didn't answer it within a few seconds. That's literally what happened, so the one time, I'm gonna explain that, but really, we're having a good time, and then suddenly, in my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, I don't get it. So we're sitting here laughing, having a good time. This is the version of her I like. Where does this version of her go? And this is in our past relationship. This is like junior year, high school. So this is the first time dealing with anyone like this. And that's why I was so confused. I just thought that maybe she was just unique. Or like she just needed more needs or whatever. Like she was just, had more baggage to her background. That's why she acted the way she acted, even though it didn't make a bit of sense to me. Here I was trying to convince myself it's okay, and I'm supposed to love this girl, right? This is what love is. This is what you do when you really love someone. be there for them, and you don't play around. But I'm gonna tell you though, like, there were even times like where I felt like I was really putting myself behind, and I questioned why I was doing that, but I kind of knew why I was doing it, and that's why it's so sick at times. Because like right now, even I'm struggling with a sense of, I still struggle with a sense of like wanting more self-respect for me and a sense of respect. It's like, how can I do that when I have someone who acts the way that they act towards me and I don't do anything? I just don't stand up for myself. And I love this person. I'm really close with this person. I try to be close to them, and then sometimes they're all over the place. Randomly I call them and they're like, oh man, I love you, I miss you, oh God, you're so great, and they're telling me all this gushy stuff, and then maybe 30 minutes later they don't want anything to do with me. They're like, pushing me away and shit, and it's like, what?
How you doing?
Hey, they're like, what did you do? I'm like, what did I do? Like, what's going on? Because I know I didn't say anything that was hurtful. But anyway, I remember points just by myself again when I was really, really sad. As a whole, feeling like that. Like, like people around me were just kind of faking it and they didn't want to be around me. And, yeah, so I've had some of the similar kind of things that some of those people talked about. And talking about that, the BPD, borderline personality disorder, like, again, I taken on some things like as a child, like, and again, like, this is where it's weird because you're always told as a kid, everyone does this. Everyone's scared of the dark.
Friendly. And if he's not friendly, he'll just run.
You're told so many things, like, every kid is scared of the dark, or every kid is so impressionable, right? That's what you hear growing up, because you hear, with your parents, you hear like your friends of your parents telling, your mom or your dad or your uncle this, and there's usually the time when your mom or your dad or your uncle are complaining about, I don't even know what the hell is wrong with this child sometimes, right? That's how it was for me. But it's like, I don't know, like, can you blame me? Like, I'll be sitting there in my head thinking sometimes, well, can you blame me because, you're never here, or I miss you, or, blah, blah, blah happens to me, and, I'm having to keep these secrets, and, I'm having to do these things by myself. And secrets such as, I like girls, and I was feeling guilty about that, and, I didn't know how to handle that, and this is when I was younger, and also, like, dealing with the major secret that I hated, which was the fact that I didn't like my stepdad. And I felt like I was stuck with him, so there's a lot that I had to try to overcompensate for, to try to make my mom seem like I was happy around him when I really wasn't. I didn't want him around. So it was a lot of acting that I had to do when I was younger, at the expense of someone else. And, and like I said, he yelled a lot, my stepdad. And it was about stuff like, stop crying, or stop crying. It's that kind of stuff. But I was already a sensitive kid, I'm a little kid. And then I was sensitive, I guess, sometimes. So I felt like he was really just being a type of way for no reason. I didn't see it as, and even now I can't look back on it and say, okay, he was trying to teach me to be strong, right? This is that loving parent thing. This is what they do. But no, it wasn't like that. It was just bullying with him. It was just weirdness. Just a lot of intensity for no reason that scared me as a kid, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why he was the way he was sometimes, and why he acted that way, and why he was so harsh, why he had to get at me like that. And eventually it always led to the belt somehow, like I had to be punished or something. So yeah, I really got scared of him, and he hit a hell of a lot harder, right? And I didn't want that, I don't know. It's weird. So I found some of that stuff, that borderline stuff, like myself, and it's weird because it's like, are there really traces of that within myself and my childhood and who I am today still, right? Taking on forms of identities, because again, I'm like, well, doesn't everyone do that? Doesn't everyone kind of adapt to the group of their friends around them, or, right? Again, this is shit you hear all the time. So is it just plainly human nature, adaptation, right? Or is there really something going on that has always been there, like from my childhood? All I know is that it's weird. It makes you question, I don't even like this word, but what's normal? And then I just throw my hands up. I'm like, fuck, I don't know what's normal. I'm just me. I'm just gonna keep on being weird and mental me. Whenever I feel like I'm mental sometimes, right? Um, but I do know that, I do have some self love to kind of search for as far as myself, and I'm doing that more now, right? I've gotten more of a handle on some things and things I don't tolerate. I've already made plenty of videos like that about women and things I don't like and things I notice in women I just don't, want to take after, number one, and things I don't want, a girlfriend or wife to have. And I don't plan on being with anyone who's like this or this. And maybe that's picky. Maybe that's selfish. But fuck. Yeah, maybe that's self-absorbed. Whatever. Maybe that's narcissistic. I just know that. That's where I stand. But somehow I always manage to put those things secondary when it comes to her. And this is, again, before I knew the term, right? With Brie. But, a good example, I know that we were on the phone. This is what I'm talking about, when suddenly things trigger her and she goes into the state where she just, she shows me that she's scared and she's insecure. And again, when your partner's like that, I felt like I had to comfort them, and I had to make sure that things were okay, and I had to talk it out with them. Baby, it's okay. No, I didn't mean this when I said this. This is what I meant. So I'm kind of in a place where I feel stuck to try to pursue my own dignity, and all this stuff, and get to a better placement of me, right? Because I'm taking on the challenges in my life, and I'm trying to take the shape of who I am, and I'm trying to take the placement of my life, and I'm excited, and I'm really excited for that. I can't wait to do that. But at the same time, I feel like, yeah, she does hold me back sometimes. Just in my head, just remembering, oh yeah, I still have her to deal with. It makes me feel bad because, like I said, we'd be sitting here having a good time, and this little alarm would go off in my head, okay, so where is this version of her? That's sweet to me. That actually holds me like this, and that makes it seem like everything's gonna be okay. That apologizes for her behaviors. Like I said, she would flip out and then just maybe apologize. But again, what would push her to that? And this is what always pissed me off. And I didn't understand with her. This is why it was so weird, because it's like this is when I would hit my breaking point. I would throw my hands up and I would be like, okay, you know what? Fuck. I've tried to tell you this so many times. I mean, I didn't say it like that, but I'm like, I tried to tell you this so many times, and you just don't care. You don't listen. If you take things as a joke, when I'm literally crying to you, when I'm trying to get you to listen, you laugh in my face like it's not a big deal. And she'd be squeezing my cheek saying, oh, you're getting so upset. You're getting so upset, aren't you? You're so cute. You're just so cute. I just can't help it. I'm sorry. I know you're upset. You're so cute. Right? It's like she couldn't maintain focus, and everything's just so up in the fucking air. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what you're doing. Because I just thought she was doing this on purpose. I also know I've been looking into, just because someone has, suffers from this and whatever, goes to these things, doesn't mean that they, it's like, oh, well, I'm bipolar, so you have to let me stab you, right? There are certain things that they shouldn't choose to act on. Just because you feel this way, it shouldn't, because I know I get a certain way, but I know I've been working on masking certain things whenever I get angry. Just yesterday, right? I was pissed. I was shaking because I'm like, what the hell? Again, I don't like things that don't make sense. And that didn't make any sense yesterday, what happened with that whole job. So I was shaking, and I felt like acting crazy. I felt like I could have spit in that woman's face. She didn't do anything to me, not really. I just feel like that. I feel like maybe, she purposely put something against me, even though I hardly know her. And even that doesn't make sense to me. So, yeah, sometimes I find myself making up scenarios, I guess, that aren't even there. But I have to just, leave the situation alone, then come back to it, and then I'm much calmer about it or something. And I was shaking, so that's why I made the video yesterday, instead of going crazy, instead of punching, hitting something. Because that's the old version of myself that I did feel. I felt like that. I felt like hitting something. I felt like, trying to break something. But I didn't. And I'm not saying, oh, look at me, I can do it, so should everyone else. But I'm just saying, damn, I get a little bit of that, But I also understand, again, because there's a certain level of me that isn't going to budge. No one should say this. No one should treat me like this. No one should, act like this. And then, trying to make me feel like this, and uh like it just seems like she just randomly up in the air, like blames me for stuff that I didn't even mean to insinuate. So I'm trying to calm her down. I'm like, no, baby, this isn't what I meant. She's like, yeah, okay, yeah, right. Like, leave me alone. Like, I know that's how you feel. I know you hate me. I know you don't, want me, and I know you think I'm horrible. I know you hate me. Just say it. So before, it was really in like a bullying kind of way. Like, she'd be like, just say it, go ahead, say I'm a bitch, say Bree, you're a bitch, or say Bree, you're a rapist and I don't like you. And she would say that like 50 or 75 times in a row. I'm not messing around. I'm not saying she would say the phrase then take a breath. It was just nonstop. I'm sorry, now I'm thinking about Key and Peele. What about nonstop though? Anyway, yeah. Look, my dog. It was just nonstop. She could say it like she was a robot, just like 5 times as fast, like da da da, just no pause. I couldn't get a word in, and that's that stuff I don't like. When people are talking over me, they're interrupting and whatever. I don't like that weird behavior that just comes out of nowhere, because it's like, what the fuck? I'm trying to make sense of. I like to make sense of things, and yeah, that doesn't. Anyway, but again, I'm trying to say, okay, she's going through a hard time, and she's just really emotional right now, and I need to help her get through this. I need to love her, and I need to show her that she can trust me and she can talk to me about certain things. But again, I also felt a pull in myself, like, where I got annoyed, and I didn't even want to deal with her, because it's like, why do I have to try extra hard for things I shouldn't have to try for? Like, I shouldn't have to put up with like 30 fucking arguments just to get across one point. Just because she's going through some things, like, just because she can't, like, take things a certain way. And see, I didn't understand. I just thought that's what made her different, and how I had to love her special. I had to love her differently in a certain way. But I know sometimes, like, there was this one time where she was literally talking about trying to slit her wrist on the phone. So here I am crying again over something, just over something that wasn't even, like, damn. She takes it from one point to the other point. It's just really intense. And like, she would use that whole life-threatening thing against me. And again, that made me feel like, see, now I have to handle her ass. I have to try to bring her back down and handle all these different situations that she doesn't even really fully explain and let me in on. So this is where I feel like I have to chase and run around, and it's all over the place, because, like, and so I feel like I have to take care of her, and I'm her mommy or something. And it's exhausting. Especially when most of this shit doesn't even make sense. So I was there on the phone getting, all angry and frustrated, because this is like after a 20-minute phone call, 30-minute phone call, nonstop, just this erratic behavior. Jumping from this to this. Right? Like, throwing this in my face and telling me this was my fault. Yet she claimed that's always how I made her feel. But it's like, no, that's not at all what I said. That's not, I'm not trying to make you feel guilty. I'm literally just saying, hey, honey, and I'm saying it in the most calm way as possible. Honey, when you said this, it made me feel like this, and, I didn't really like when you did this. And she would be like, okay, I guess I just can't do anything right, can I? I just can't do anything right. No, it's fine. And then she get quiet, and then she doesn't want to talk to me on the phone. That's what I'm talking about. Distant. She just shuts up, and I'm sitting here trying to talk to her, and I'm getting angry because she's not cooperating with me, and now I'll be scared for her life already, because it's like, when she's not saying anything, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what she's thinking about doing either. Or I don't know what she's already done. So, and then she would try to pin it against me, like, kind of like in the way, like, I'm going to cut myself if you don't say this right now. Or I'm going to hurt myself if you don't feel like, doing this. So that's the kind of stuff, and it's really sick. And even though I had a certain respect for me, I always lowered the bar for her somehow. And I'm struggling with that, because I've never dealt with this kind of stuff with anybody. So on a general, sometimes I did feel like that, like in my other relationship, where I had to try to, sacrifice, as it's called. But again, you're also told this is a part of love. So, with me not wanting to sacrifice this, feeling like I can't sacrifice this for myself, Am I just being a bastard? Like a bastard? Am I just being an asshole? Does this mean that I'm not capable of love, right? Does this mean I'm not ready enough for love because I can't do this for another person? But still, I'm having to question the validity of the things that I'm having to do, right? And yeah, so on a general with just women, sometimes the things that I could deal with and I have to put first and put myself secondary, this is to a whole nother fucking level, right? So, and it's more consistent, and the scenarios are way out of the water, and I'm having to choose between things that I never thought I would have to choose between. So it tests my limits. And anyway, she was sitting there, acting how she was acting. I got frustrated because I'm like, stop it. I'm trying to, like, in my mind, I'm like, stop. I'm trying to fix you. I don't want you to hurt yourself. I don't want you to get hurt. I love you. I care about you. Why are you going to do this to yourself? Why are you putting this on me like this is some kind of lesson I have to learn? Why do you want to put yourself through this? Why are you so willing to do this? And you're acting like it's something that I have to learn, right? Like, damn, like trying to discipline me or something. Like, why? Stop it. And I feel like that also triggers something like, my childhood, like that whole disciplinary thing when I don't understand. Like I said, growing up, I didn't understand, like, okay, so is this your form of loving me? Is this your form of teaching me? Is this a form of care that you have for me? This is why you treat me like this? Yeah, it's weird. So, there's lack of understanding of some things, and I haven't even found my own sense of what self-dignity means, and yet respect in general means, because, like, everything is flipped when suddenly I get on the phone with her or whatever. So there I was. I know there's this one point where I was taken back to the old other version of myself where I was like, you know what? I'm so frustrated. I'm just so worthless. Oh, I can't do anything right. And there I was wanting to wish that I could hurt myself to get out the pain that I felt and the frustration and get all this emotion that was there and that was building up. So some of my unstable ways were coming back to me, and I get it. That's my thing. That's my bulk. I have to fix that, and I can't really blame that so much on anyone else, but I know people, they bring that out of me. Still to this day they can, but I have to try to tackle it and try to leave it behind. But also, like I said, I've also talked about, like, my depression. I don't even like fucking using that word, like, because whenever I say that, I feel like it's not as valid. I feel like I'm talking about those corny ass commercials that they show. I've been sad for 8 years and I'm looking out a window. Or my child fell down today and that's why I'm worthless. What? Right? Like, it's just so, it doesn't even make sense, but, like, I know it does, because I know I've been in periods like that too, like the smallest things kind of, or things that have no correlation, I take into account of myself, my own self-worth, right? And what I just can't seem to do right. So, yeah, and it brings back things from my childhood and how I felt, and makes it seem even more valid, because it's like, see, this is what I've always deserved. I've always deserved this kind of treatment. I've always felt this way, and, I should have, never been born, and all these things that are happening to me are just examples, and if anything, it's just God showing me, or it's life trying to show me, if anything, right, that I don't belong, and that, I need to be fixed. But it's like, how do you fix yourself and you don't even know how? So it's weird. And I know sometimes, like, I really want to talk to someone about how I felt, and no one's around to talk to me about it, and, I was alone, and I felt alone already, so, again, I cleared my mind, however it was, and whether that was, maybe I could sit down and write, or maybe I would cut myself, or maybe I would, whatever, like, just sit in the dark, or whatever. But that's how it was on the phone. Like, I was getting to the point where I was trying to save her, but I couldn't save her because, again, things are out of my control. I realized there's a certain part of me, I like to have control of things, and I like to control where things go, and I make so many plans for the future and things, so when things get messed up, right, I don't know how to handle it, and I don't know, like, there's a certain reactionary thing that happens, and whatever, I'm just saying, like my dog, I was sitting on the phone wanting to hurt myself, trying to get out everything that I felt, anything to make myself feel better. And then I felt alone, right? Because I'm sitting here like, what the hell? I'm literally on the phone with a person that I shouldn't feel alone with. And they're making me feel even more confused and clouded than anything else. And see, that hurt me because I'm like, so I know what I have to do with this person. I know what I have to do. I have to let them go. And I have to stop loving them. I have to stop, putting them higher than me. But it's like, that also made me feel torn because I couldn't. And there's a part of me that didn't want to. And also, like, again, self-love and validation. Like, I didn't want to be alone. And also, I didn't want to leave her alone because I was scared of what she was going to do. I was scared that maybe, I was like, okay, it's okay. I can be okay. I'm just mad right now. And this is like the talking myself down. I'm like, I'm just mad right now. I can, I'll just feel better. I'll forget about it, right? This isn't that big of a deal. I'm just mad right now. I don't have to get so upset. And she would even tell me that herself. Like, stop, you're overreacting. This isn't a big deal. That's even what she told me about the pills. It's not a big deal. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where is your head? Yes, it is a big deal. The fuck is wrong with you? I didn't say it like that because, I know that when I'm talking to her, I have to be gentle, but sometimes I'm direct. I'm like, look, I don't know how to handle this. Like, you're just all over the place. I don't even know, like, how to handle you sometimes. And I shouldn't have to handle you. So I've said that, to her. And she's like, well, then don't. I'm not asking you to. Like, that's really pissing me off that you're making it seem like you have to handle me. I know you're not my mom. I don't want you to be. Like, if you want to go on, then just go. Right? So then she starts to push me away, and then I start to panic because I'm like, I love you. Like, I'm trying to help. Like, yeah, but it's weird. So I said there are literally points where I know where respect should be, but then I'm constantly talking myself down, and I have to tell myself that I overreact. And I'm like, okay, because after I blow up at her, I would blow up at her. I'd be like, damn it, I shouldn't have said this. And that's kind of like where last night, like where you kind of like you're on and off again with that person, and you take them back. You're like, damn, I should have said this. I shouldn't react like this. I just got too mad. Maybe if I had just talked this way to her, maybe if I had just said it like this instead of like this, I wish I hadn't said all that stuff that I said, because now I feel like I did say some things that I shouldn't have said, though at the time I really did feel it, and that was me getting out things that I'd never been able to get out before, about frustration and how I feel and what I feel about her and how I think about her now, right, after so much time of putting up with shit has gone by. Now, whenever I talk about how I feel about you, yeah, it is going to be this really shitty image. And to be honest, I remember even thinking back to our other relationship, and all I can think about is how hard it was and how exhausting it was. I hardly remember any good times. And if I do, I don't think of them first. That comes way later when I remember, well, there was this one time when, it's like that. And I know even that is sick itself. So, but anyway, whatever. So it's like, I'm on a quest of finding my own thing of life and how I want to be treated and what I feel like I deserve, and implicating that, but I'm in a relationship with someone who can't seem to give that to me, and now I'm having to put up with and accept the fact that they possibly can't, because I remember, like I said, like the other girl was saying, when she was talking about how it was to date her bipolar girlfriend, and she'd be sitting there in her head smiling and having a good time with her girlfriend, but then she would remember, there's another episode always coming. This is never going to last. And that's what I did too. Like, I clocked myself almost. I was like, don't get too caught up in the moment. Don't get too close to her, because she's just going to pull you back again. She's going to do something, and she's going to suddenly turn into another person. And she's going to make you confused again. And then she's going to act like, you shouldn't be confused. Like it's your fault, right? Or you're thinking too hard about something. But, yeah. I like to think about things. I like to think about the meaning and logic of things. So I don't like to just do things just because. And when she's like that, and I've also listened to that some people, they realize that they're very impulsive. Hell, when I tell you about impulsive things, when you're so willing to hurt yourself and try to break your own hand, try to break your own arm because you feel like you deserve it. That was me. Now that's impulsivity. That's impulses right there. And I would lash out and I would do it, or I would just punch myself or whatever because I felt that's what I deserved. Or I would slap myself like with a belt, just hit my head in the wall, like throwing things. And that was a reactionary. And the same thing, like when I broke my mom's window, I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to kick things as hard as I could, as far as the dashboard, as hard as I could. I was trying to hit the side of the door, passenger door as hard as I could, trying to break my own hand, trying to break my own arm. I remember that. That's what it was. I wasn't trying to cause harm. And then after I realized later on that I guess that was me that had done that, because I didn't even see that I had done that. I remember my foot hitting the windshield. I don't remember seeing it break and all that stuff. And I didn't mean to do that. It wasn't the intent. But see, then I was stuck with feeling guilty, even more so for what I didn't mean to do, and things were my fault. And at some point, like, I understood how it should have been my fault, because I understood it was me who was doing it. But see, I was so out of control that I'm like, responsibility wasn't there with me, because it's like, and it's not like a kind of, hey, well, this is how I am, so you just have to accept it. But responsibility, like, I didn't want to accept that was me, like that was a version of me, because I didn't even like that version of me, right? Like when I would come back down into the neutral, general version of me, I'm not saying I was happy, right? But, into the version of me where I wasn't, going crazy. That's what I would call it, or where I wasn't feeling crazy in my head, like where there wasn't so many racing thoughts and, say voices, right? When I say voices, I mean like I'm very visionary, so I remember things in the past that happened too, that I couldn't seem to control, I couldn't seem to handle, I couldn't seem to fix. And we have all these clouded things that just keep piling up of what I couldn't seem to fix. And I'd remember everything that was said, and I would try to tell myself, stop it. This is just make me mad. I don't want to get there. I don't want to go to that certain point, that certain level of myself, right? 2 minutes would go by, and then I'd be doing it again. I'd be living in these moments again in my head. And then it didn't help. My mom threw that in my face, acting like, okay, you're just living in the past, and But see, when I try to come to her and I try to talk to her genuinely or ask her about things, that wasn't me trying to bring up the past. It's not me trying to make you feel guilty. I'm genuinely, confused, and I need some fucking help. That's all it was. And I depend on you to help me with this. Why aren't you helping me with this? Why are you just sending me off? That's all it was. So yeah, there was just a lot of things that was just piled up, and I didn't have any help, and I was pushed off, and I was told I was being ridiculous, and I wasn't listened to already, and it was just a lot. So, some of those things that she does, I try to stay there even more so, because I've been in a place like that myself, and I wouldn't come down from those places of a logic and just doing things, and because I felt, like that's what should happen to me, or that's what should happen, I wouldn't come down for a little while, for 10, 15 minutes, 30, 45 minutes after that, right? So, she throws that in my face too. She's like, you shouldn't treat me like this. You should know how it is, because you felt like this yourself, but you're not even willing to help me. You don't even care about me. So here I am trying to do like checkup on, again, how I love her, but I'm already trying to love her in the best way I can, in the way that I only understand, because I don't understand why she does what she does sometimes. But then I'm the crazy person for having a reaction. She even said herself, I thought you were going to love me. I thought you were going to be there for me. Then you just leave me. I'm like, that's my reaction. What the hell? I'm like, what the hell do you expect? And then am I just supposed to be happy with this shit? Like, am I just supposed to put up with this? Because what do you expect? I reached my point. I don't want to deal with you anymore. When I say I need some time to think, I'm trying to assess what the hell is going on and where I am, where I want to be. In other words, where I want to be, and if you're included in that vision. So you can't blame me for needing time after putting me through what you put me through. Like, you say that I mistreat you and all this stuff, but damn, do you not remember what you did? How you acted? How you were willingly, jokingly laughing in my face while you were doing it and putting me off and talking over me and, treating me like I'm not worth as much as you, because that's how I feel when you do that stuff. And whenever I try to calmly tell her that in a certain way, she's like, you know what? It's always me, isn't it? I'm just always mistreating you. I can never do anything right. You know what? Fine. No. Forget me. Fuck me. Huh? I'm just a bitch. Stuff like that. So then again, I have to end up taking care of her and calming her down and saying, no, babe, it's okay. I love you. I'm here for you. And then I end up putting myself off and telling myself, I don't have to get as mad as I do. I don't have to react the way I react. Generally, I already, conceal a lot of what I feel. What she's doing. Or she hangs up on me. So I have to kind of deal with it. And I don't have a good history of having to deal with certain feelings. I don't have a good history of that. And so that's another version of myself I'm not trying to go back to. But I don't really know what to do when she pushes me to those limits. Not really, because I'm trying to make sense of everything. I'm trying to make sense of myself. I'm trying to make sense of sense itself. What is respect? What is it really? But I don't know. But yeah, that girl, the girl Nicole, she's talking about how it was with her girlfriend, and she said she knew that there was always another time coming, right? I know I'd be sitting there with Brain, we'd be having a good time, and I'm sitting there like, okay, so where's this version of you? And it would just make me upset, and it would make me want to cry, because I knew that there was always something else that was coming, that was going to happen. We would have another argument soon, and then we would, over the stupidest thing. Like, we would suddenly get upset again. An example, I was literally on the phone with her. Like, I was talking on the phone, so the phone's up to my ear, and I'm talking to her. We were also typing messages on Facebook to each other. And she sent me, I love you, a message, or something like that, or either she said it on the phone. Yeah, she said it on the phone. She's like, I love you. And I smiled at that, right? And I'm sitting there typing, I love you too, through the messages. But it takes time to type. It does. And even though I type pretty fast, it's going to take a few seconds. But after she said it, like really, immediately after she said it, she said, I love you. She said, oh, so you're not going to say it back? Like, she just lashed out. And I remember feeling really confused, because I'm like, like, damn, like, why do you have to lash out like that? Like, I am saying it, just give me some time. So again, there's the logic, there's the illogic, and I'm having to make sense of things, and little things like that build up over time, and it's hard to kind of accept, and it even makes me question, like, do I deserve this, What do I really deserve? And I wouldn't really know, because I get it, like, I'm still young, and I haven't had a lot of relationships, but I already have this idea, again, because of fucking movies, how it's supposed to go. So I'm battling with that, and I'm battling with the things that I want out of those movie versions of love. And I'm battling with how, the reality, the present situation is. I'm also battling with not wanting to battle with it, right? And facing up that this is my reality. This is what I have to try and handle. But also, I'm like, it doesn't make any sense that I have to try to handle certain things about this person. I have to handle certain situations. But that was the situation. And anyway, I remember, like I said, because we're on the phone talking. And she just started to, say, okay, you don't love me? Okay, no, it's fine. You don't love me. I get it. And talking fast, and I'm like, well, I was typing it. I'm literally typing it now, and I sent it to her. I'd finished typing it. And then, she was like, whatever, I know you don't really mean it, or, whatever, like, now you're just saying it because I said it, or something like that, or, so it's always like this automatic, like guilt tripping me and what I'm not doing. And she said she doesn't mean to do that to me. Just like, then why do you keep doing it? Like, don't you understand how you're doing it? Then she's like, well, you do it to me all the time. So now I have to watch how I talk to her, and now I'm like blaming myself for things that I shouldn't blame myself for, because I know I'm not trying to cause her any harm. I don't mean any harm when I say certain things. It doesn't implicate this, but I've also been looking into people, they said, who are bipolar. They said that, like, they go so much on feeling, and hell, I go on feeling, right? I go on feeling sometimes, but, you know, and I'm not just saying, like, when I stub my toe. Obviously, the immediate reaction feeling is, ow, that hurt. And I'm maybe going to get a tear in my eye or something, and now I'm holding my toe. Obviously, I'm in pain. That's not what I mean, like, when I say reactionary feeling. Like, I get very carried away, and I have a bad history of that. Like, investing certain emotions and certain expectations in people that haven't shown me much of themselves yet. So then I get crushed when, like I said, with Brie, when she crushes things. This is why it's hard when, like I said, because moments when I feel like I'm actually with a more loving version of her, it hurts whenever she brings me back down, you know? Or even when she gets really uncontrollable, or as they call manic or something. Not just having an episode, but when she's like crazy. And again, it's like either I have to stress myself out, try to manage her, or I have to throw my hands up and leave her alone. See, when I try to come back to her, right, like I feel, and when she puts me down, she's like, well, see, you don't love me because you can't even really stay with me and all this stuff. Like, you're not willing to work things out. And so that hurts the idea of love that I have for myself, because I already have this idea of what you're supposed to do when you love someone. So now I'm beating myself up because I'm like, oh, I guess, I could have done this better. I guess I am a jerk or something. Like, I shouldn't have left her. But it's like, what do you expect when you do certain things, when you treat me a certain way, But again, I can't seem to get that through to her, because, like, she doesn't, apparently, they don't realize sometimes what they do, right? Or when they done it. Like, I know sometimes she's told me things, and I'm like, don't you remember when you said that? She's like, no, I don't know. I don't really remember, Then she brushes off. She's like, whatever, and I'm not even just talking about, like, the bad things. It can be happy things, too, like, or, again, like, deep things, like, random deep things about her, like, she randomly tells me, It's like she doesn't want to talk about it anymore after she randomly blurts out bits of information like that to me. It's just a roller coaster ride, and I made a video, and I was scanning through my videos, and I came across one called Crazy Girlfriend, Real Life Examples. Man, that version of me who was like, I'm not taking shit from any woman, alright? Really worried about the nature of women, especially women of today. How twisted they are, right? It's hard to want to share anything with them and give them anything, because they're just so fucked. Good manipulators, using that emotion to get you. Oh, now you're hurting my feelings. It's like, what? Now that version of me would have probably kicked this version of me. Right? Kicked, this version of me, and they're like, what the hell is wrong with you, Yelling at myself, right? Because that version of me doesn't tolerate anything like that. But it's just weird how much I change. Again, she's the only one who's ever done this to me, and, made me, I already have problems at trying to please people as it is, so, yeah. She's the only one I've ever put up with. I've put up with so much when it comes to her. And so fast, because everything happens fast, so there's so much I know that I put up with when it comes to her. And so this is why I ask myself, so I really must love her, right? This really does mean that we have love and that we're meant to be together, because we've still made it. We've come this far together, right? But see, a lot of it, I'm going to end it like this. A lot of it isn't upon her efforts. It's about a lot of what I have to do, what I have to try to manage. And see, also that puts me in the place of my mom, because I've already talked about that so many times. Feeling like I'm having to overdo things for someone else, and I know I shouldn't do that. And watching my mom do that so many times, put herself second and doing everything around the house, still right now she does that shit. She's doing everything, and she's fixing things and trying to cook dinner at the same time, trying to handle Madison, trying to, clean off this because she spilled this, And then Monica's just in there fucking playing video games, and they're like, there's no responsibility given to that person. I don't understand it. I don't know why he gets to slip on things. And she lets him, like, it's fine. And that kills me to see that, because, like, I want better for her. Like, I'm like, you know how much better things could be if you would just step up, or if he were the right person to be with, if he wasn't like this. And another thing, bringing back to Brie, like, whenever suddenly she turns on me or whatever, however it is, like, she suddenly gets sad about something, or she suddenly gets mad, or whatever, accuses me or something, or she just shuts down for no reason, like she acts like she doesn't even like me or something, like I've done something to her. Like she doesn't talk to me a lot or whatever. Like, gets, spacious, I guess, whenever she gets spacious, just cause, like I said, like, she doesn't want to talk to me, or she doesn't feel like dealing with me or something like that. Well, I'm questioning, I'm like asking myself, like, if only you were different. Why do you have to do this? If only I could change this about you. See, I hate that, because I don't want to have to do that with someone that I'm with. And I've also heard you're not supposed to want to do that. If you're sitting here in your head talking about, you wish they were different, you wish you could change them, you shouldn't be with that person at all, because relationships shouldn't be having to, there's compromise you have to do, but, you shouldn't have to try to change and rearrange things about the person, because that means you're not with the right person. So, there's a lot of that, confusion. So I'm just really confused. And just like that girl Nicole was talking about, so I'm having to choose between, do I want to love myself in certain ways, or do I want to take care of myself? Or am I selfish wanting to do that? Because what that means, taking care of myself, it means dumping her off. That means putting my foot down more often and being more blunt about things. That means not calling her all the damn time when she wants me to call her. And sometimes I feel guilty, because I'm like, yeah, well, I'm her girlfriend. I'm supposed to be there for her. I'm supposed to be, talking to her a lot. But then again, we don't have much to say. So, or we end up arguing. I already said this. I already told her this, and she's like, oh, I guess it's my fault. We end up arguing, and I'm like, stop. Like, anyway, that's all I have. I'm out.